Hi guys, it's Andrea, and yes, I am talking to you in my bathroom because I was cleaning up in here and I really like the light, and my 14-month-old, she's a toddler now, she's asleep, and so I just want to be extra quiet. So I'm going to sit on the floor of my bathtub and tell you guys my favorite things to do in Maryland, because I have a whole playlist for that here, which I'll link in the description and up here if I can figure it out. But I have all these things that I really love doing, and I wanted to share them with you guys in an organized manner, because when I first moved here from New York, it was a lot harder to find these things because no one told me, and you can't just Yelp or read about it in Time Out magazine. So my coworkers and friends that I met in different design events, they were the ones who were like, oh, a really great place to go for your birthday is Fleming's. And we love this place so much. We went every single year. They just have a really great location in the downtown area. And so that was one example. But I can just rattle off a bunch of places that we like to eat that if you're local or a tourist, you'd really like. Rusty Scupper has a great view of the water and the harbor. That's where Mark and I had our engagement dinner, and some places in Fed Hill are really nice and walkable to the inner harbor. So Spoon's Cafe makes their own coffee and it's really good brunch stuff. Spoon's, Blue Moon too, also, and the Ceremony Coffee within Cross Street Market. There's also a new rooftop. Rooftop decks are really big here in Baltimore, but that place is called Watershed. There are a bunch of cool things to do in the harbor area. It's what most people think about who are from out of town and who want to see Baltimore. You can go to the Science Center, you can go to the aquarium. It's actually the National Aquarium because DC doesn't have an aquarium. So it's one thing Baltimore has over DC's awesome mile of free museums. There's a World Trade Center. Some things that you'll notice, like the Penn Station too, are also similar to what New York has, but a little less crowded. So I remember my very first date with my now husband in Baltimore. We went to the World Trade Center, and it was really cool. They've got all the flags. They've got a sculpture that we joke looks like an elephant ear, and so I think that that's a really easy date or family day in downtown Baltimore. You want to be careful where you park because sometimes it's very expensive or it's not as safe, and so again, a lot of that is word of mouth, but I highly suggest actually parking closer to the Locust Point area and wandering over to the harbor, because it's surrounded on three sides by water, and so it's really beautiful and not that crowded, not that expensive. Fort McHenry's right there, which is where Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner, and I guess the War of 1812, which was actually from 1812 to 1814, was out there. So they've recreated the fort from those times, and I made a video from Defenders Day there because it was so cool. It's a Maryland only holiday that is all about really America being fought for, and I don't know, it's just a really cool time. So Fort McHenry's my favorite thing maybe ever. It's a short drive to DC and Pennsylvania and Virginia. It's just a really I'd say you get the best of both worlds, from being close enough to these northeastern feeling type of cities, but then still technically being below the Mason-Dixon line. So you get some southern relaxed service and smiles, and it's just a nice vibe, I think. I don't know, if you are considering a trip to Maryland and you want things to do, please reach out. I love sharing stuff like this. Some other things you might want to know are that people love the color orange here, thanks to the baseball team, the Orioles, and purple because of the football team, the Ravens. Black-eyed Susans are around because they are the flower, and there are some iconic images that you might see, like the Natty Bow sign and the Domino Sugar Factory. There's an old ad campaign called From the Land of Pleasant Living that people might reference now and then, and I think that if you go to a baseball game at the Oriole Stadium, everyone always like screams "Oh!" because of the O's when they're singing "Oh, say can you see?" So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've really loved living here, and I can't recommend it higher. I think that it's one of the coolest places to go out without spending a crazy amount of money, and just kind of live your life. You know, I don't really see too much like as far as, I mean, there are going to be issues parking and finding, you know, like I said, easily recommended things, but I think that there's this mentality that if you find something cool, that you don't tell everybody about it, because people don't want to see it get too gentrified or too crowded and crazy. So it's an interesting thing that I guess I'm trying to share. But I just remember how much I really loved hearing about this stuff, and I hope you do too. So if you're new here, you know, this is my channel, and if you're not, then it's really nice to catch up with you. I love posting videos every week here on the Codex Club, so like and subscribe so we can be friends and keep in touch. Okay, well, that's basically it. Life is good. I think that for the most part, the family's doing great, and I'm trying really hard to just like continue to freelance and work like consistently as a new mom and small business owner. I think that with everything going on with the pandemic, there's just been this shift, you know, with how people are buying and how I'm shopping and how my life is really, it's changed so much, and I'm so lucky to be able to do what I love. And you know, I've really enjoyed starting to film these things with you guys, videos of things. So yeah, I really appreciate that, you know, that you are watching if you are, and thank you, and how are you? Yeah, that's basically it. All right. Oh, there's a lot of fall stuff on thecodexclub.com right now, and outerwear is 20% off if you use the code outerwear, and that's for a limited time only because it's starting to get cold out. I recently posted something on our Instagram that said fall, that it swings wildly between frostbite and boob sweat, which is totally how I think when I think of sweater weather, which is what it is. So anyway, thanks for following along. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. If you can, please like and follow so that we can keep in touch here on YouTube. The Codex Club is also on Instagram and Facebook, so I'd love for you to keep in touch with me on there as well.